Hey, howdy. I'm finally freed from the gilded cage known as having a real job. And I mean, I call it a gilded cage because, I mean, I'm not unhappy. But it's nice to take a break every now and again and continue the age-old trend of every time I say it's been a while, huh? Dooming myself that the next time I take a break it's going to be even longer before the next episode. So, I got a job. Like, my internship officially started. And, I've got many, many stories related to that. I think the location tracker's broken. Yeah, it looks like it. Okay. So, I'm just gonna talk shop about the stuff that I've been doing. So, the official title of the internship is, Data Science Intern. What that means specifically, it's kind of up in the air, if I'm being completely honest. I've kind of just been given odd jobs that the guy who hired me brought me on to help fulfill, and, I've been learning a lot. I've been learning a lot, and, fun fact, the job that I got was in insurance of all places. Which has been really disorienting, because I know jack shit about insurance. Maybe this goes without saying. But I know absolutely nothing about insurance. So, like, hang on, let me turn up the desktop audio the tiniest bit. There we go. I know absolutely nothing about insurance, so getting a job like this has been very entertaining. Okay, Lost Creek is... Oop. Oh, right, down here. It's this one. No? This one, this one. But yeah, maybe it goes without saying, but I know absolutely nothing about insurance, so it's been a fun kind of, meta journey to learn about insurance while I'm on the job. And ironically, it has taught me that I don't think I ever want to have a job in actual insurance. But that's okay, because my job may as well not even be insurance, because I am the tech guy. And so far, my primary job has been, automation, which is a very, very broad and weird term. And it means different things in every single, in every single different, there's Penguin. Whew. It means different things in every single different, occupation. But here, it means using a software called, everything is a Microsoft product with the company that I work at, which, fair enough, that's where Microsoft makes the bulk of their money these days, is through stuff like that. It's been so long, I have no idea where I'm going. Pretty sure this is the right way. Yeah, there we are. So most of the infrastructure is Microsoft stuff, which is both good and bad. Everything's kind of linked together really nicely, so if you want a spreadsheet, you can just use Excel. If you want to write a document, you can use Word. If you want to write an email, you just use Outlook. And if you want to link those things together and make it so that whenever you send an email, it populates an Excel sheet, there's a service for that. There is a service that you probably haven't heard of because it's very much a corporate-facing thing called Microsoft Power Automate, which I had never even heard of before starting this job. But my boss reached out to me and was like, hey, I have this idea for a job for you, where basically I would use Power Automate and make it so that a Microsoft form, which is legally distinct from a Google form and pretty much just a worse version of Google Forms, if I'm being honest, you can get money from those? Huh. Actually, I haven't seen that before. You can take a Microsoft form, which is just a legally distinct and worse version of a Google form. Oh! Look, it's Foe. This is a great... Hang on, this is a great spot for a picture. Foe is dead. What you can do is, a lot of cloud services have something like this, and Power Automate's one of them, where you can have it react to stimuli, and then do stuff within the other services that Microsoft has access to. So, like, for example, what I ended up doing for my boss is I ended up making a flow that would operate whenever you filled out a new entry in a Microsoft form. It would take all of the information from that form, package it into an email, and then send it to the people that were specified in that form. And then it would, like, CC people that were also mentioned in the form, and it would... I added, like, a bunch of cool extra frills. It was a fun project. But the project has already taught me a couple of things, and I've only been working there for a couple of weeks at this point. The first thing that I've realized is that the existence of AI agents have made a lot of people able to do stuff like this, but also consequently a lot worse at coding and problem solving. Because the de facto answer for a lot of these problems seemed to just be, hey, just look it up in Copilot. Copilot will have the answer that you're looking for, right? Well, I don't know if I've properly discussed my stance on AI agents before. I have been disillusioned with ChatGPT and Copilot and Grok and every other AI agent since basically day one. Like, this isn't just me speaking as a contrarian, I can't stand using any of those kinds of services. Because I'm the kind of person that likes to bang their head into a wall until they figure out the problem on their own. It's just the way I'm wired. And I found a way to better understand something by just banging my skull into it over and over until it works. And using an AI agent is the exact opposite of that, where if you can enunciate it properly, then you can just solve the problem immediately, or at least you can attempt to. And it feels almost completely the opposite of the way that I operate, because I am terrible at enunciating things, and really good at, I don't want to say brute forcing it, but like trying and learning until I'm able to solve the problem on my own. Now, with that being said, I'm not gonna act like Copilot has not saved my ass before, especially because when working in a work environment like this, we are all but forced to use Copilot. Like, there's so many opportunities where I'm having a conversation with someone, and one of us mentions like, "Oh yeah, I've been having an issue with this," and then the other person will pipe up almost automatically, "Well, you could just ask Copilot." But again, it's not quite that simple, because I had a very unique issue with my stuff in particular, because as it turns out, the way that Power Automate, or the way the Copilot gets a lot of its information, especially when it comes to the Copilot agent that's built into the browser for when you're using Power Automate, it is sourced directly from the documentation. Because, you know, at the end of the day, these kinds of agents are just knowledge accumulators. Which means that if the knowledge is wrong, then the agent is also going to be wrong, and it has no way of telling. It's going to package it in a nice little bow and feed it back to you, even if the thing that just got packaged is a steaming turd. And I learned that the hard way, because there was a very specific function that I was trying to achieve, and it turned into a week-long struggle for no good reason, because I was, like, pining, hoping for some function to be that I could use that has apparently been deprecated and is only available in a desktop version that I'm convinced doesn't exist. So what I was trying to do is whenever you, in Microsoft Forms, and I believe Google Forms does the same thing, whenever you successfully complete a form and submit it, it will add itself to a list that you can check out at your own convenience. You can just like go into the list, and then you can like view the results, and then there's an option to like view individual result. And that's all well and good. However, suppose that you wanted to hyperlink to that individual result. For some stupid reason, it operates based on the dynamic address of that list entry. So let's suppose that you delete a bunch of entries, and now there's only 7 left, with some random arrangement of numbers between 1 and the total number of entries that you've submitted. The hyperlink is not going to be, the number in the hyperlink is not going to be the highest number. The number in the hyperlink is going to be the number of forms that have been submitted that are still around and haven't been deleted yet. It's just the number of entries in that list. So, the question now is, how the hell do you access that? Well, here's where I started to realize that Copilot was going to lead me down a bad path. Copilot kept mentioning something about a node in Power Automate that you can use to get all of the responses at once. The node was just called like list responses or something like that. And that seems like a perfect solution, because it gets popped out as an object, that object has a length, and I can just access that length, and there we go, there's our solution. So far as I can tell, that node does not exist, and I don't think it ever has. It's just erroneously mentioned in the documentation, and then I went to the actual app and tried it out, and it does not exist in the modern version. Maybe it did at some point and it just got deprecated. Couldn't tell you. So what I had to do, I ended up having to make the jankiest solution I've ever had to do, and this is coming from someone who has made some insane stuff in my life. What I ended up having to do was iterate through every single one of those forms semi-manually. Just go down the list 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to the highest number that I knew was going to be in that list, which was the entry of the most recent form, or the ID of the most recent form. I think you can understand how this would be unreasonably inefficient. Let's say that out of all of the crazy amount of forms, there were only 7. That means that out of a list of 97 forms total, I would have to go through all 97 of them. The goofballs. Awesome. So my initial solution was to go through every single one of them in sequence and query all of them separately to see if they came up as valid web pages, basically. That was awful. It was so bad. But, I eventually found a more elegant solution, because at a certain point you can just do, I was just able to store them all as a separate file, basically. I just have like a random text file that has all of the valid entries that it knows about, and then it just runs back through, checks all of them. If any of them don't come up, it lops it off the list, and then it checks the one, and then it adds the one at the end. So it actually ended up working out pretty well. But I started to realize something else as I was doing this. So as it happens, my boss, really smart dude. He's been at the company for, I think, 9.5 years. He's almost been there for 10 years, and he's a smart guy. He knows a lot about insurance. A lot of the reason why he brought me on as a data science intern is that he is probably the most knowledgeable person in the company when it comes to Power Automate. And I already know more about it than he does. So I think everyone else at the company now thinks I'm a wizard, because for the rest of that week, like even leading up to, there was this, I don't know how it worked out this way, but one of the first weeks that I was there was this massive annual company meeting. And people flew in from like the surrounding states and came in and kind of like socialized and kibitzed. And I got introduced multiple times as the guy who helped my boss solve a problem in a day that he took several weeks and couldn't solve. And not to downplay him, but to play me up. And I'm just sitting there like, I'm flattered. I'm really flattered. But where is this leading is the thing that kind of scares me. Because I am a creature of pure, unadulterated social anxiety. I mean, you probably could have guessed that. I don't like letting people down. And now half the office assumes that I'm God, and I don't know how to feel about that. And, I mean, another example. Yesterday, actually, I was collaborating with someone else on, some, like, other data analytics thing. Basically, we have to take information from PDFs and PowerPoints and, format it and then put it in graphs and then report back. I found a way to do it automatically, because I just, like, did some Googling. To everyone out there who wants to go into computer science or statistics or data science or math, excuse me, the most useful skill you will ever learn is how to Google things well. And I say this as someone who is fully aware of ChatGPT and, like, the rise of AI agents as a way of searching things. Having the ability to look up something on the internet and get what you're looking for is a superpower in the tech world. Because a lot of people have already solved the things that you're trying to solve. Like, no matter what you do, you are probably not the first person to do it. And you're better off looking on Stack Exchange, because odds are someone else has done this first, and they've like talked with other people, and there's a somewhat more elegant solution than what you're trying to do. That doesn't mean you shouldn't try to solve it, but just know that you have a safety net. Right. But what else? It's such a surreal job to have, especially as someone who has done computer science for both undergrad and now grad. Because again, I am not a very sociable person under normal circumstances. I've been trying to get better, but most of the time I'm someone who likes to like chill with the people that are like more quiet and reserved. When I come out of my shell, I'm quite loud and expressive, but it takes a lot for me to get to that point. And here I am, surrounded by a bunch of people from public state schools who are the most, like, amicable social butterflies, and I'm just sitting there like, yeah, cool, happy hours. I'm probably gonna just drink tea, but enjoy, y'all. As long as other people are happy, I'm happy, frankly. As long as they keep themselves safe. Man, this world is obnoxious. There we go. Another thing that's been on my mind recently is, I've been adding a few more YouTubers to my normal, like, cycle of things that I watch when I'm bored. And I'm usually relatively choosy with the YouTubers that I like to watch. I try my best to avoid slop whenever possible. But like the stuff that I've found more recently has been very fun. I started watching Ordinary Sausage is the first one, and Ordinary Sausage is just kind of delightful. There's a certain, like, unabashed whimsy and pure insanity to that channel that I really appreciate. And I've also been watching the Slow-Mo Guys, which is just a damn good channel. Like, I can't even, like, it is just quality content. Genuinely check that one out if you haven't before, because it's a lot of, they're very, like, old money YouTubers, but they're very good at what they do. Is Fleshworld the one that looks like someone's back? No, this is a different one. No, right. This links into the... This is a bean area. I forgot about this. Hmm. You know, it's been a while since I've been to Bean's World. Let's check it out. It's been a minute. But yeah, ordinary sausage is great. I'm usually very discerning with the things that I watch, but at the same time, it's like, I feel like I'm even more discerning now because I just don't have a lot of time right now. Like, this is probably going to be the only video for a good while, especially with commentary. It's going to be a minute. Because I've just been busy as hell. And there's no way to really get around that. I've just been busy. And, I mean, I'm not disliking it. It's a fun job. It's a good job. It pays very well. Especially for an internship, it pays quite well. Does this mean that I'm never going to make content again? Oh, hell no. I still love doing this. It's all about a balance, right? Because I mean, I've already got several eggs that I'm juggling here, because I also want to try and finish my graduate degree, if at all possible. And that'll be fun to do alongside also having a job. I don't know how the logistics of that are going to work out. If I'm going to pivot into being a part-time student, or if I'm going to, schluff everything off to one semester or the other, or I don't know. Ideally, if everything works out, I want to be able to simultaneously keep working and also, like, I want to simultaneously keep working and also be able to finish school by the end of this year. If I can manage to do both at the same time, that would be kind of excellent. Ah, this area is neat. Nice. um, Flesh World. Yeah, it's just this that leads to Flesh World. Looks about right. And then, oh, have I even seen this stuff before? Underneath, I don't actually know if I recognize this one. Oh. Whoa. That's cool. I actually don't remember if I've seen this stuff. This is like some of the... Interesting. This is some of the later Bean stuff that was a lot more horror-focused, which, I mean, I'm not complaining. This stuff looks awesome. Hey, nice. Here it is. Whoa. That is really cool. Look at that. Awesome. I'm tempted to make this the thumbnail, but I don't think anyone would even recognize this as Tukey. Oh, but finishing up what I was talking about before, I ended up successfully making a thing that could grab text from PowerPoints and PDFs. And one of my supervisors came by to check in on us because they hadn't like come over and talk with us at all that day. And I showed them that, and now I'm pretty sure she thinks that I am a tech wizard. Oops. I mean, there's worse things to be perceived as, I guess. Again, I just hope I live up to the expectations is all. Oh, that's so cool. It's supposed to look like a bridge. I really like that. Because I've always heard people talk about, when they talk about work, I've always seen, oh, that's really cute. Um, I've always seen people talk about work and talk about how to, especially when it comes to like big publicly traded companies, how to like throttle yourself so that your superiors don't get their hopes up. Ooh. Oh, is this menu sounds? No way. This looks really visually striking. I like this. Ooh, wait, is there some way to, I wonder if the camera will, like, pan up or something. This also looks really nice. Okay. Okay. Every time I get the vertigo effect, I get the vertigo mini event, it scares me. Not because I'm scared of this event, I've seen it so many times, but the smallest of small hopes that I could get gallery of me is just constantly lurking in the back of my mind. But that'll probably be it for me. Can't say how many more of these I'll do in the coming months because I mean I'm gonna be busy. But next chance I get, I will do more of this. I still have a bunch of series that I need to keep playing. But that's all I got for now. Thanks so much for watching, y'all.